All right, so this is going to be another movie review. This one's called The Rite 2011. I'm giving it 5 out of 5 stars. I love this flick. Anthony Hopkins is great. Rutger Hauer is in this, and there's also Frego's young lady, Rutger Howard, Marta Gastini. Marta Gastini. Wow, she's her exorcism was decent. And in this one, the exorcist, in this case Anthony Hopkins, becomes ends up being exorcised. This is good stuff. The Rite is, oh man, we love this kind of stuff. The Rite is a 2011 supernatural horror film directed by Mikel Hastron and written by Michael Patroni. It's loosely based on Matt Baglio's book, The Rite, The Making of a Modern Exorcist, which itself is based on actual events as witnessed and recounted by U.S. then exorcist in training, Father Gary Thomas, and his experiences of being sent to Rome to be trained and work daily with veteran clergy of the practice. Now, Father Gary Thomas happens to be an exorcist in the Diocese of San Jose. In fact, I think he's visited one of my parishes. He's good buddies with Father Ilo. Father Ilo has this exorcism fetish. In fact, Father Ilo mentioned this. I think Father Ilo recommended this movie, or he mentioned it, or something. Because I would never watch this if it hadn't been for the Star of the Sea Parish exorcism explosion that occurred as a result of Father Ilo's big push on people like Father Gary Thomas. I think he actually went to San Francisco to speak about exorcisms, but I missed most of it. I thought this one was good. Oh yeah, this one is great. It's awesome. So is the Prego's year old Marta Gastini as Rosaria. Whoa, that is an awesome exorcism. And this is realistic too because it's based on Father Gary Thomas, a real exorcist in San Jose, which is like 50 miles from here. We love this kind of stuff. This is realistic, although they did embellish it to make it more entertaining, of course. But this is as close to it gets to real exorcisms happening in Hollywood. You can't find a better exorcism film than this. The film stars Anthony Hopkins, Colin O'Donoghue, Alice Braga, is good looking. There's no nudity in this, just a bunch of blasphemy from the demons and some potty language in the beginning. That's about it. But the exorcisms are intense and decent. You got Collar and Hines, and Rutger Hauer plays the Undertaker, and he's teaching his son how to be Undertaker by sewing up his mother. So bizarre and surreal, almost dreamlike. Shot in Rome, Budapest, and Blue Island. It was released on January 28th, 2011. Oh, by the way, Adrian's in the chat room. It received generally negative critics reviews from critics, and it grossed $97.1 million worldwide. I wonder what the negative reviews are about. I guess I'll find out. Production companies New Line Cinema and Contrafilm. We like New Line Cinema on this channel. I don't think New Line Cinema exists anymore. It got swallowed up by the mega corporations. Distributed by Warner Brothers Pictures. Release dates January 26, 2011 in Hollywood, and January 28th, 2011 in the rest of the United States. Runtime 114 minutes. It's a very long film, almost 2 hours. Countries: United States, Hungary, Italy, UK. Languages: English, Italian, Latin. Budget of $37 million and a box office of $97.1 million. So even though it got negative reviews, it still did okay box office, I guess, for the amount of money that they spent. Got a pretty decent return, thanks to Anthony Hopkins. Michael Kovac is the son of a successful funeral home owner and businessman. Steven, disillusioned with his job as a mortician, Michael decides to enter a seminary and renounce his vows upon completion, thereby getting a free college degree. 4 years later, Michael is being ordained to the rank of deacon at the seminary, after which he writes a letter of resignation to his superior, Father Matthew, citing a lack of faith. Father Matthew, apparently wanting to talk to Michael, attempts to catch him up to him on the street. He trips over a curb, causing a cyclist, Sandra, to swerve into the path of an oncoming van and get critically injured. Seeing Michael's clerical garb, she asks him for absolution before her last breath. Anybody can give absolution. Well, anybody can give last rites, but absolution is a little bit different. The hesitant Michael is unable to refuse. He comforts her and he performs a blessing ritual to absolve her of her sins. Seeing how calmly Michael handled the situation, Father Matthew, who's chewing nicotine gum and spitting it out, tells Michael that he is called to be a priest despite his unwillingness. He also tells Michael that with the rise in demonic possessions every year, the church needs some more exorcists, and says that he has the potential to become one. What a cool job. Father Matthew advises him to go to the Vatican and Rome to attend an exorcism course taught by his friend, Father Xavier, played by the great Anthony Hopkins. Michael agrees after Father Matthew tells him that the church might convert his scholarship into a student loan that would cost him $100,000 if his resignation is accepted before he takes his vows. If Michael attends the exorcism classes and he still wants to leave, then it can be discussed, hinting that he may be free to leave. In Italy, Michael meets Angelina, also taking the course. She's wearing her tank top. This is the eye candy in the movie. He soon learns that she is a reporter who's been asked to cover the course for a newspaper article in the Dominican. Father Xavier notes Michael's skepticism. Oh, Father Xavier is not played by uh, Anthony Hopkins. I stand corrected. Father Xavier notes Michael's skepticism and very tentative faith, and he asks him to meet a renowned friend, a Welsh Jesuit exorcist named Father Lucas. So Father Lucas is played by Anthony Hopkins, not Father Xavier. I stand corrected. I'm getting my fathers mixed up here. Michael meets Father Lucas at his home, where he also meets one of the priest's patients, a Prego 16-year-old girl named Rosario, who is possessed, and Lucas is trying to exorcise. She got raped by her dad, and she's Prego's. It is later revealed that she had been raped and abandoned by her father, which led to her possession. However, Michael remains skeptical, even after witnessing several preternatural events, such as the girl coughing up 3 long nails and speaking English fluently. This is the realistic part. I've seen this happen before in Rome, where people are like, have all this nails and metal stuff coming out of their mouth. I've actually seen that. She even pointedly reminds Michael of the last patient he anointed and of his loathing for his own father. Angelina requests Michael to relay any information he gets from Father Lucas to her, as the latter has always refused to be interviewed by her, which Michael declines. Rosaria tries to drown herself and she is hospitalized. In the hospital, Father Lucas performs another exorcism, and we've got multiple exorcisms with the Prego's 16-year-old who got raped by her father and abandoned. And all the exorcisms with this young girl are awesome. In the hospital, Father Lucas performs another exorcism. Rosaria miscarries. The baby dies from cardiac arrest, and the mother dies from major hemorrhaging. Disheartened, Father Lucas feels he has failed her. He forgot to ask what demon it was. After this, Michael decides to confide with Angelina, and we've got the exorcism pals going up against Father Lucas, who's now possessed. After Rosario's death, Father Lucas begins behaving strangely, presumably because the demon Baal wants to go after the most holy people, not the people that he's already, I guess, possessed. He wants to go after the best of the best. Michael and Angelina find him sitting outside his house in the rain. Father Lucas takes them into his house and, knowing himself to be possessed, requests that Michael bring Father Xavier to perform the exorcism. He's not around. Angelina and Michael try desperately to contact and find Father Xavier, but the latter has gone to Civita Vecchia for 3 days. Michael decides to perform the exorcism himself with Angelina, and he does an awesome job after all the body contortions and the weird stuff that the I mean, Anthony Hopkins' face turns like black and his eyes are popping out. This is really cool stuff. After constant rebuking by the demon, a long drawn out fight, Michael regains his lost faith. Michael is able to force the demon to reveal its name, Baal. He completes the exorcism saying that he believes the demon exists and he believes in an all powerful God as well. We've got redemption here. Not only did he renounce his own atheism, but he kicked Baal's butt too. The demon leaves Father Lucas. Michael bids goodbye to Father Lucas, returning to the U.S. Michael, having decided to become a priest after all, receives a letter that Angelina had published an article on the exorcism. And that's the Rite. Actress Tori DeVito portrayed Nina in the film. Whoa. She's hot. Michael Hallstrom began working on the exorcism thriller in February 2010. Hallstrom began casting in March for the lead roles of Father Lucas and Michael Kovac, deciding on Anthony Hopkins and Colin O'Donoghue. The film was produced by Beau Flynn and Trip Vinson, The Exorcism of Emily Rose, under their Contra Film Studios company. That's another movie that I've got to see. The Exorcism of Emily Rose. Anthony Hopkins, sometimes I nearly lose all faith, but something taps away at me. It comes back. I got the DVD, of course. It made it to the theater down here. Okay, Adrian's talking about the DVD and the release in Australia. So it wasn't just the US release, it was Australia as well. Pretty cool. The film is based on the book The Rite, The Making of a Modern Exorcist by then Rome-based US journalist Matt Baglio, which was published in 2009 and 2010. To research the book, Baglio participated in a seminar on exorcism by the Vatican-sponsored Pontifical Authorium Regina Apostolorum, where he met Father Gary Thomas, a parish priest from Sacred Heart Church in Saratoga, California, very posh neighborhood, who was tasked by the local bishop in San Jose, California, to become an exorcist for the Diocese of San Jose. Initially skeptical and reluctant, Father Gary became an apprentice to a Rome-based exorcist, and his skepticism is soon replaced by the cold reality of evil and the way it sometimes takes the form of demonic possession. Cool. The book traces Father Gary's life prior to and subsequent to their acquaintance in 2005, which involved Baglio observing over 20 exorcisms performed by Father Gary. Baglio indicates that the experience in writing the book was just a very spiritual process in a lot of ways. It helped me reconnect to the church and understand the value of faith. This is something that is silly and it's very important. While Baglio was still researching his book, producers Trip Vinson and Beau Flynn, who had already produced The Exorcism of Emily Rose, which I have on my movies list, I think. Yeah, I have it at 4,233. uh, the producers learned about Baglio's book proposal and they decided to purchase the movie rights. The producers contacted Michael Petroni, who's one of the writers for the Chronicles of Narnia, The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, which I have not seen. Low battery. What? Oh, maybe if I actually plugged in. Where is the oh, there we go. Might help if I actually plugged in my computer. Huh? Oh. Well, my computer's about to die. All right. All right. Michael Petroni, the writer for the Chronicles of Narnia, The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, wrote the screenplay. Petrum, a practicing Catholic, coordinated the development of his screenplay with Baglio, who is now writing the book at about the same time. Hallstrom was invited to direct the film, intrigued by the fact that he could be working from fact, not just someone's imagination. While the film is focused on demonic possession and exorcism, Hallstrom also believes that this story is about a young man finding himself and finding his way. In preparation for the film, Hallstrom attended some exorcisms in Rome. Although never being present in the actual room, he could hear what was taking place. Father Gary Thomas served as a consultant on the set of the Rite, and he indicated that the exorcisms in the film were very accurate, with some expected licenses taken. I sort of knew that was coming, though. According to, they have to make it entertaining after all. According to actor Franco Nero, he filmed a 9-minute monologue, which was entirely cut from the final film. Warner Brothers Pictures released the film on January 28th, 2011. The film grossed $33 million in the US and Canada and $64.1 million in other territories for a worldwide total of $97.1 million. The film made $14.8 million from 2,985 theaters in its opening weekend, beating fellow newcomer The Mechanic and topping the box office. It fell 62% to $5.6 million in its second weekend, finishing sixth, and it made $2.3 million in its third weekend, dropping to 11th. On the review aggregator website Rotten Tomatoes, 22% of 171 critics' reviews are positive, with an average rating of very low 4.3 out of 10. The website's consensus reads, Anthony Hopkins is as excellent as ever, but he's no match for the Rite's dawdling pace and lack of chills, or Colin O'Donoghue's tentative performance in the leading role. Metacritic, which uses a weighted average, assigned the film a score of 33 out of 100 based on 38 critics, including generally unfavorable reviews. Audiences polled by CinemaScore gave the film an average grade of B on an A to A plus to F scale. Roger Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times gave the film 3 out of 4 stars, and he said, I admire The Rite because while it delivers what I suppose should be called horror, it is atmospheric. Its cinematography is eerie and evocative, and the actors enrich it. The film was generally well received within the Catholic community, although some question its classification as horror. The United States Conference of Catholic Bishops noted, though shaky on a few details, director Michael Hallstrom his conversion tale resoundingly affirms faith and the value of priestly ministry. Yet the effort to showcase the main character's spiritual journey as an old-fashioned chillist weakens its ultimate impact. So there you have the Catholic Church's take on The Rite. I don't know why my screen just turned. Oh, there we go. All right. Here we go. I didn't have my computer plugged in, so my screen just turned gray. All right. The Rite 2011 rated PG-13, an hour 54 minutes. It gets a 6 out of 10 on IMDb, not too bad. 106,000 ratings. So people know about this movie. Even Adrian knows about this. He has it on DVD. Kovac travels to Italy to take an exorcism course. Here's a less flattering review, but by Snoopy Style. Snoopy Style gives it a 6 out of 10, which is the average rating on IMDb, but it's lower than my 10 out of 10. Snoopy Style calls the title of the review, Colin O'Donoghue, too underwhelming in this. The date of the review is September 3rd, 2013. Michael Kovac, Colin O'Donoghue, is a U.S. seminary student who travels to Italy to learn exorcism from Father Lucas Trevent, the great Anthony Hopkins. It takes a more realistic spin of exorcism, By discussing it as a real thing inside the church, it creates a more powerful foundation to build on than your average slasher horror, but it never really raises the tension. Colin O'Donoghue is just too underwhelming in this. I don't know if it's because he pales in comparison to Anthony Hopkins. Well, he's not being exercised. What do you expect? Or if it's the clean shaven look, he has much more presence in Once Upon a Time as Hook. Okay, I'll have to look that one up. More like this: Deliver Us from Evil, The Exorcism of Emily Rose, which is already on my list, The Pope's Exorcist, and The Euthanizer. I'm going to have to look all those up. So now I have 5 movies to look up. Michael Kovac, Colin O'Donoghue, the son of a funeral director, goes indifferent to his father, and he joins a seminary. On the way to his course completion, he is overwhelmed by a strong lack of faith. His religious beliefs are further jolted when he sees a young girl haplessly dying in a road accident, for whom he reluctantly performs the ritual to absolve her sins. His mentor still believes in him. His mentors him to go to Italy to take an exorcism course, who would strengthen his faith in Christianity. In Italy, he attends a session from Father Xavier Clarion Hines, who soon becomes aware of his skepticism. As a result, he sends him to an eminent Jesuit exorcist, Father Lucas Travant, Sir Anthony Hopkins, whose ways, though questionable, are quite effective. I don't think they're effective at all. He witnesses the exorcism of a 16-year-old girl, but he still seems unconvinced. He wants the girl to go see a head shrinker. Father Lucas explains to him that it takes multiple sessions over a long stretch of time to completely free a victim from the demon. That usually means that the exorcism is not working. Despite witnessing some supernatural occurrences during the aforesaid exorcism, Michael is as skeptical as ever. After the second exorcism, the girl's condition becomes quite critical as she is moved to the hospital. Well, so much for Anthony Hopkins' exorcism capabilities. And soon he becomes possessed by the demon Baal himself. After the second exorcism, the girl's condition becomes quite critical as she is moved to a hospital. She soon dies, and the demon finds a new victim. As the moment of reckoning draws near, Michael may be the only hope left, but first he must overcome his own doubts and apprehensions in order to fight and destroy the ominous forces. That's the storyline from Who Knows? Tagline: You can only defeat it when you believe. Genres: drama, horror, mystery, theater, thriller. Rated PG-13 for disturbing thematic material, violence, frightening image, and language, including sexual references. That was the potty language that I was referring to earlier. It's interesting that they based this movie on a real exorcist priest, and then they use all the potty mouth stuff in the beginning here. Thinking, this is. I don't think Gary Thomas told them to insert these lines in there. Michael Hallstrom attended exorcism to prepare for directing this movie. He was not allowed to witness them, but he could hear what was happening from outside the door. And of course, the devil knows how to shut doors. That's about all he can do, other than possessing real people with demons. After the exorcism scene, from the moment Colin O'Donoghue plays with the nail, he loses his US accent. An Irish accent takes over for the whole scene when he talks with Anthony Hopkins. Father Lucas Trevant is quoted as saying, "You be careful, Michael." Michael responds, "Why?" Father Lucas Trevant responds, "Choosing not to believe in the devil won't protect you from him." The Warner Brothers logo breaks apart and reforms as the New Line Cinema logo. A voice says, "Don't be afraid. Do you believe in sin? There's nothing to believe in." This was featured in Scream Awards 2010, from the year 2010. Soundtracks Don't Miss Me, written by Derek Trucks and Michael Matheson, performed by the Derek Trucks Band, courtesy of Victor Records by arrangement with Sony Music Entertainment. Release date January 28th, 2011. In the United States, countries of origin, Italy, Hungary, and the United States. The official site is Warner Brothers US. New Line Cinema no longer exists. It's been gobbled up by Warner Brothers. Languages: English, Welsh, Italian, Latin, Russian, Hungarian, and Greek. You can turn on the closed caption, and it doesn't help during the exorcist scenes, also known as Ni Le Trui Ta. Part of my Vietnamese. Filming locations: Budapest, Hungary as Italy. Production companies: New Line Cinema, Contrafilm, and Mid-Atlantic Films. Budget of $37 million estimated. Opening weekend US and Canada, $14,789,393. Not a bad opening. Gross US and Canada, $33,047,633. And gross worldwide, $96,560,591. So this might be actually more popular outside the North America. Runtime 1 hour 54 minutes, 114 minutes. So lots of stuff going on in this movie. It's in color. The sound mix is SDDS, DTS, Dolby Digital. Aspect ratio is 2.39 to 1. So there you have it. My review for the Rite. Highly recommended. Check it out. Good stuff. We like exorcism movies on this channel, especially the ones that Adrian knows about. All right, number 1 on my list is Streets of New York, 1939. Number 2 is Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, 2000. And number 3 is St. Francis, 2002. So I don't have much going on this weekend. Just movie night at St. Dominic's with Miss Danielle. Oh, that's going to be good. And that's about it. I should be able to knock out 4 on Saturday, plus the the St. Patrick's movie that I'm going to watch with Danielle on Friday. So I should be able to knock out 5 or 6 this weekend. My son is going to Catholic school tomorrow. I'm going to meet the comely Miss Rebecca on Friday night. And we've got the pre-1955 Tridium coming up in a few weeks. And I get paid a couple $1,000 tomorrow. So I can pay off most of my credit card. But wake up early at 6 and start moving some money around. Cool. Well, that was a fun film to watch. I didn't think I could make it through the end, but it was entertaining enough for me to stay awake and do this review. Cool stuff. Highly recommended. Check it out. Laters.